Hello, welcome to episode 91 of the Zeens and Roger Crochet Vlogcast. Hello, how are you? You alright? My name is Rosina. I am a crochet designer based in the UK, southwest of, and that's all you need to know because I'm going to jump straight in and talk about probably all of this stuff here, if that's alright. Lots of finished objects that I hope that you like. Grab yourself a cup of tea, grab yourself your crochet, your knitting, your sewing, whatever, and then I'm going to talk at you for the next half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, I don't know. It is all about the finished objects today because I feel like I've been away for ages, and whilst I've been away all I've been doing is crochet most of the time. 1, 2, 3 things that I can't show you yet. One is a blanket, one is a pair of wrist warmers, one is a cowl, but all in good time. Oh no, and arguably I can't show you my shawl for Murrit either because I don't have it, but if you follow me on Instagram or you follow Murrit, then you would have seen it. You would have seen it somewhere on social media, I'm sure. I have a shawl coming out in the very first issue of Murrit magazine, which is a new crochet magazine that's going to be awesome. I'm really, really excited about it, and I don't know whether I'm going to tell you today about it, maybe next month, but there's lots of teasers out there if you want to go and have a look. I'll put some links in the show notes. I hope this isn't too bright because I've got a light behind me and then all of a sudden the sun has decided to shine. So I'm thirsty. I've been out for a walk today and it's quite warm weather. I wanted to open up the episode with me wearing one of the finished objects, but I'm too hot. I don't know which project to start with, to talk about first. So I'm just going to grab one. I finished my granny go round. I have finished my jumper. And I have sewn in the ends, which is a miracle, because there were a lot of ends. Loads and loads and loads of ends. I did some of them in the car going to Bristol Zoo on Saturday, but I fell asleep. And so I didn't actually achieve much. And then I did more this morning in a bit of a rush, thinking I wanted to get them all done so I could take a photograph or two and then talk about it and wear it. I didn't get them all done in time, so I ended up, when I went for my walk around Sidmouth with some friends this morning, I ended up wearing it with all the ends still, well not all of them, half the ends still poking out everywhere on the inside. And then after, when I got back, I lost all patience and then I started sewing 2 in at a time. You've got 2 ends of each row, haven't you? So I just sewed those in at the same time. Why not? Top tip, sew 2 in at a time. So here we go. This is a pattern by Iron Lamb. I'm sure you know it. I've shown it before when it was about here. Probably, or I'd probably done the armpits. Now you can see here it is a little bit skewy because I think this is the point where I did decide to make a decrease because it was too big and I was too lazy to frog the whole thing. Plus that's probably also the point where I accidentally went from a 4.5 to a 4mm hook. So from here downwards, I'm pretty sure I definitely used a 4 point nothing hook, but here I think it's a 4.5, I think. I'm really pleased with it. It's a major stash buster. I didn't buy any wool for it. I bought this ball of parchment from the local shop. Because I wanted that to be the main colour for the cuffs and the neck band and the waistband. but the rest of it's all from Stash, and it's all a mixture of different brands, but it's all DK acrylic, and it all, I mean, it's fine, it all goes well together. And then I think I probably went off piste with the arms, because I think in the pattern they're probably shorter, but I wanted them to the wrist but not covering the hand, and then mine do balloon slightly into a smaller cuff, and that's because on the last row I did, it's lots of decreases, and if I don't know if you can see, but it's not that turquoise round is not a granny round, it's just lots of decreases, and I don't think it's too dodgy. The only thing is you could argue that it was slightly holy, I guess, but nobody is going to be looking, are they? My neckband is slightly bigger than the pattern as well, because I chopped off the first few rounds. I worked it out to make more stitches at the start, is what I mean. So that's my granny go round jumper, which I started ages ago, and then just, rather than making it a really quick project, because it could be a quick project, it was a pick up put down project in between other things, so it didn't feel like it was a quick make, because I didn't do very much ever in one sitting. So my sleeves are slightly tight, so they're a bit wrigglesome to get off, but it's fine once it's on, and I think they'll probably stretch a bit. So that's the only problem. I probably decreased the sleeves too much, but that's okay because my wrists are quite thin. But maybe I should have done some other kind of maths. This is how old it is. I've just picked out a Christmas needle. Did I start it at Christmas? Mind you, I think my project bag, hello, my project bag was sitting in the same place as the Christmas tree, so maybe it just collected a few in the project basket bag thing. You've just made yourself comfortable in some of my projects, is that alright? I'm going to grab them from you in a minute. You know that, right? Do you want to come and say hello? Oh, I'm sorry. Come on then. She's just come. I've interrupted her. I've disturbed her. Oh no. Do you want to go back? Sorry. Okay, you sit there. Good girl. So that's my first thing that I finished. I'm really pleased with it actually. I like the mishmash of colours. They work well together. I did make another one, or start to make another granny go round, which was a more formulaic set of colours, but actually I don't know if I want to finish it. I've done nothing to it since the last time I showed it on here, which was ages ago. I might just bin that one off. But with my stash, I still got loads of stash, and I did think of an idea of what to do with it the other day, which I've promptly forgotten. I wonder what it was. Maybe something blankety. What was it? Don't know. So, I've got this. This is decked out. It's called Decked Out, and it is in the latest issue of Inside Crochet magazine, which I think might be issue 139, but don't quote me on it. Might be 138. 137? Can't remember. I'll put it. I'll make sure I tell you. But it's basically a triangle shawl with lots of stripy colour, and then finished with a ribbed border, which I really like. If I can put ribbing on something, then I probably will. I just really like it. Even though it's not the same elasticity as maybe a knitted rib, I still really like the look of it, so I don't care. And you don't need that elasticity on a crochet shawl, do you? It's there to look nice. So this is a shawl that is inspired by deck chair fabric, and the issue, it was a beachy themed issue, so I went with that. And I've used a sport weight yarn. I think it's a Millimia one, merino, and it's so squishy and bouncy, and it's so lovely to work with. I think it would make a really nice garment. I just need to come up with an idea for a garment maybe, which is not anything I'd ever thought of until I just said that sentence. But this is lots of half double if you're US, half treble if you're UK. I don't know if you can see that. I never know when I hold it up whether or not it's going to look any good. Sorry about my nails, they're really bad at the minute. Even if they're clean, they look awful because quite often they've got residual nail varnish on them. And I used black nail varnish the other day and it's caught in the ridges. And there's some lilac stuff left over in them as well. And I have psoriasis in my nails, and that's never pretty either. So apologies. So that's a design I made for Inside Crochet magazine. I have 2 more patterns coming out in future issues of Inside Crochet magazine, but I did not open the last email regarding the call for submissions, and I didn't do that because I know what will happen. And what will happen is I will open the email and I will read it and I'll start looking at the mood boards and I'll start getting ideas. But I really, really want to just have a couple of months where I do my own crochet for crochet's sake and just have fun, because I felt like for months and months and months I haven't had any of those opportunities. It's just been one design after another. It's felt that way anyway, and I don't know, 2021 has felt like there's been always a lack of time. I've always been chasing my tail a little bit and struggling. So I just need a few months a few months where I take my time and just enjoy some projects that are my designs for me, and then make other people's designs as well, and just have a bit of fun with it, because at the moment I think maybe I've burnt out a bit, so I want to stop that, because you don't want to, if it stops being fun, you don't want to do it, and it defeats the point. So just so you know, that's my mindset at the minute. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to produce any less crochet, just that it's not going to be for other companies at the moment, because yeah. But I don't want to not ever, just, you know, you can't, I just think it's really hard to continuously do it. Yeah. Next whip. No, finished object. No, I've talked about that one. I'm getting a bit lost with things. Right. Oh my gosh. Who's made a perfect mohair cardigan? I have. This was fun actually. So I've already started my I'm going to make things for me phase in between some commissions. Oh my gosh, I'm so hot right now. So this is my perfect cardigan pattern, but I've done it with a chunky mohair. This is a chunky mohair from MYPZ. I don't know if it's MYPZ or MyPZ or what. But what did I think? I think I got it wrong last time, because it is in fact a Dutch company, not a Danish company, and I'm really sorry. But the yarn itself I think comes from South Africa. That's what it says on the label. And I've gone rogue with the stripes because I can do what I want, because it's my cardigan and I want to wear what I want to wear, and I want to wear stripes. It appears I haven't sewn in all the ends. I thought I had, but then if I flash you my armpit, there's quite a few of them as well in there. So arguably it's not totally finished. Hang on a second. Oh, Marcy, why do you have to be there? I appreciate that you've come up to hang out with me, but really. See, the good thing about the Perfect cardigan is that it's seamless around here. You just work it in one massive piece. And that means, like, if you get in a certain chunk into it, you can wrap it around your body and see whether or not you like the fit of it, which I think is a good idea. Well done, me. So it's really, I wish I had some way of posing in a bit better fashion, but I don't. I didn't add any buttonholes on this. I can't be bothered. If there's no holes, no buttons, it's just going to be an open one so I can flash people. What do you think? Shall I tell you about it? I'll tell you about this one. Right, let me take this one off, then I'm going to put the other one on, and then I'm going to talk about the construction of it a little bit and the adjustments I made for this one. So, because I can't remember if I ever actually showed off this first version on the podcast. Maybe I did. Now note that this one, what are you looking at me like that for? See, this one it's not totally fitted. It's slightly boxy, which is intended, but the other one's boxier. The other one has slightly longer sleeves, which are more balloony as well, okay? There's some children having too much fun outside. I'm really sorry if they're noisy. Okay. And this one does have buttons. It's got 3 buttonholes up to a size 3, and then I think size 4 and up have 4 buttonholes. Yeah? What's up?
Are you recording something?
I don't have to. I can stop. What's up?
Have you stopped?
No. But nobody's watching, are they? Because it's... I can cut it out. What do you want?
Oh, what's for dinner?
Don't know. I haven't decided yet. We can have spaghetti with tomato sauce and cheddar. Edward said he wants bits. Or...
I want pasta salad.
I was thinking, you want pasta salad? Yeah, maybe you could have pasta salad. I might have something different, but... Okay. But we don't have to worry about it just yet.
Okay. Wait, is Marcy in the video?
No. No, she's down here and the video's up here.
Oh. Huh.
Okay. Do you want to come round over here?
Maybe.
Go on then.
They could be in the video a bit.
Only if you use your normal voice.
Okay.
You can come round here and do on this bit. And then look. That's me and you.
So how do I look straight?
You look in there.
Hi.
Who are you?
Arthur.
Hello. Hello.
Eric.
No, it's a normal voice.
Hello.
Good boy. Got anything you want to say?
No.
All right then. You can start and help cook dinner if you want. Make a head start, but it's only 5 o'clock, so we've got a while. It won't take that long, will it?
No.
No. Okay. What's your favourite crochet thing here? The fluffy one. Mine too. Okay. Bye bye. Thank you. You can close the door as well. A little bit. Thank you. Do you know, I think, but I know I've put on weight recently, and so this, oh sorry mouse, so this one is a bit more fitted than it was when I made it. Yeah, it doesn't help that going to the seaside and having ice cream and fish and chips is something that I did today. I need to start exercising more because I just sit on my bum doing crochet all day when I've got the time, rather than go for power walks. Because like maybe last year, year before, I was doing 3 to 5 mile walks, maybe 2-3 times a week. Have I done anything for the last year? No. Must start again because I think it helps. Of course it helps. But if I've got the choice between going for a walk for an hour or sitting and crocheting for an hour, what are you going to choose? I should do both actually, because exercise is beneficial to your health. Big time. We all know that crochet is therapeutic as well, but balance. Anyway, I do have some points I wanted to make about the cardigans, because, and they're the same but different. But this yarn, and I didn't do a swatch because I'm really, really naughty, and I did just sort of eyeball it, but this is a chunky mohair, and because it's chunky, actually it is wider and longer than the original Perfect cardigan. So you have to bear that in mind when you're making it. And I think I mentioned this last episode, I did actually use the size 2 stitch count for the main body. However, for the rest of it I sort of did a size 3, like sleeves are a size 3, and actually at the cut off where you split for the sleeves, I then treated it as though it was a size 3 again, but ignored the stitch count. I think what I'll do is I'll type my notes in, I'll put proper notes into Ravelry so that you can see the adjustments I made, because they are different things. Like I think the sleeves are 6 rows less than the pattern, because it was working up bigger, everything, you know, the sleeves were longer, so I've had to take that into account. And then the same with the cuffs, and probably the waistband, although I haven't counted how many rows I've done. I bet there are loads less than on the pattern. So if you're a confident crocheter and know how to make adjustments to garments, then I think you'll probably find it relatively smooth sailing to do adjustments. Maybe if you just drop down a whole size totally, you could do that. You all know I'm a glutton for punishment, so I like to make life difficult. So I did kind of make some awkward adjustments that are really difficult to explain. However, the end result's brilliant and I love it. And the yarn is beautiful as well. Really, really nice yarn. And the colours are gorgeous. I think it was, I can't remember what I said, and I don't have the thing with me, but I'm pretty sure it was €8.50 per 50-gram ball, which is probably pretty reasonable, kind of mid-range. But I used 12 balls with some leftovers of certain colours, and then I had to also use a different one I had in stash. This button band that is not a button band because it has no buttons on it. This is actually a drops melody, which I don't know if you can see that it is slightly different in texture. It's definitely, it's mild for one thing, and it's just a different kind of floof, I suppose. I don't know if you can tell though, it's really hard to... But I had no choice. I had no choice because I'd run out of all the other colours. I do have 2 leftovers, it's true, but they're different shades and I didn't want to introduce a new shade because it would mess up the whole colour scheme. So I went with grey because it did have grey. It's got grey in it already, but unfortunately they are 2 different sorts of grey, 2 shades of grey. But hopefully nobody will notice, and I will soon forget about it. And the only ends that I haven't sewn in are at the sleeve point, and they're really, really easy to sew in here. You can just do in a few inches and you know it's gonna not slide out because it will probably all felt together. And if worst case scenario, you've just got something to cuddle really, because it is beautifully soft and I love it. I can't think of anything else to say about it. I don't want to go into like mega detail, I suppose. Are you back, are you? But if you had any questions, let me know and I'll try and answer them as best I can. But I will also do those notes. At some point everything stopped recording, so I don't know where I am with things. I don't know why it stopped recording either. I'm really disappointed in that because I don't know where I am, and I wish it would bleep at you when it stopped. I really do. Let me just put this on again for you. Here you go, I made this top. This is a top inspired by the top featured in Romantic Crochet by Emma Escott from Lulu Loves. It's not exactly the pattern, I did go completely off-piste. I put in a panel, oh god, put in a panel here on both sides. And the back looks like that. I don't like it. I don't like this. Does it at the back? I could block it and make it a bit of a looser drape, but I'm not going to because I just don't like it. I think the shaping is wrong for me. It's one of those things that looks better on other people, and that's okay. So it will either be repurposed or put in the charity shop pile, I'm not sure yet. It's made with King Cole Cotton Soft, which is a nice cotton. I'll concede and say that cotton's nice to work with because I don't usually like cotton. There's nothing wrong with it per se. I just don't think it suits my body type, and it's probably not quite long enough. And I just, even things like, I don't know if you can see, But the granny squares themselves, they either sink or they pop, like bump. They're raised or they're sunken, because I haven't blocked them. Maybe if I blocked the whole thing. But do you know what? I'm just going to write it off as nothing. I could sew the bottom up, and then these could be really big handles, and it's a bag. But I think actually that won't really, it's not going to work. Oh. So I'm just going to write that one off as a thing that I really wanted to make. I've made it now. I've got it out of my system. Job done. Time to move on. But not move on entirely, because actually, I mean, it's funny because I had started making that top with squares that had more rounds of colour on them, but I didn't like that version either. I thought it was too busy. So I undid all those squares that I had actually joined as strips to make the top, but because I didn't like it, I turned it into a bag instead. So now I've gone over those things, it doesn't feel like I've been talking that much, considering I've got I've got 3-4 garments and a bag. Yeah, I can't have been talking for more than 20 minutes, surely. Don't know. Oh, and a shawl. See, really pleased with that. Really pleased with this. And of course I love my perfect cardigan. It just looks, the yarn I used has got brilliant stitch definition. It's 100% wool wash merino from Lovecrafts, which I really like. I haven't washed it yet though, so I don't know how it will be when it's washed. Okay, so those are my finished objects. Shall I talk to you about some whips? It's funny because I don't have much progress on any of my works in progress, because I've only just finished a handful of other projects, and everything else is pretty much at the same stage, as in that it's the start. I've started, or I'm wanting to start lots of things, so I've got loads of things downstairs that I decided not to bring up because I don't want to talk about them all. I won't have time to make decent progress on all of them, but there's 2 that I'm feeling very enthusiastic about, and I hope that they become things quite soon. And yeah, like I said, I do have more. I was going to bring up all this yarn that I've had for a few months that I was going to turn into a jumper. I just haven't got around to the swatching of it yet. I bought a load of, because I've done the perfect cardigan in a chunky mohair, it's kind of kicked off a whole obsession with mohair. So I've bought some cobalt blue mohair that it's from Drops, it's kids silk, and I bought it because it's cheap and I want to experiment with a jumper. Just this. And I do want to also make a version out of a different sort of mohair, just to experiment and play around and see what's available, to see what I like. But I thought I'd start with the cheap first. Almost like what's it called when they do it in sewing? With like the calico fabric beforehand. I can't remember what it's called now. I'm sure it's a word. What's the word? I'm not going to get it, but I think you know what I mean. I'm sure if you want to tell me in the comments, I'll go, oh yeah, of course, I knew that. But it escapes me right in the minute. So I've been swatching. This swatch has, I've started with just ordinary single crochet. Let's talk American terms. Single crochet. Wasn't 100% sold on it, so I went up a hook size and it was better. But I wasn't sure I thought it was an interesting enough stitch. So I changed it to an extended single crochet, which I prefer, I think, but I wasn't sure if it looked a bit too messy. So then I've gone to a different stitch here, which I do prefer. But what I want to do is just work maybe 2 more stitch types to see if I can get one that really speaks to me. So far I definitely prefer this top one. I don't even know if you can see very well, it's hard. And I will say that working with just this real lace weight mohair is quite tricky, so I want the stitch not to be a pain in the bum. I want it to be a relatively easy one so that people aren't getting in a tangle when they make it, because ultimately I would like to release it as a pattern. I'm getting really annoyed now. My camera has switched off a couple of times now. I don't know why. I thought I had charged the battery to the max. I think probably I've talked so much it has overheated and doesn't like it. So rather than re-record it all, I'm just going to pretend that I've spoken about things. I don't actually know. There's a couple of them I don't know when it cut off, if it saved it or what. I've got no idea. The things I talked. Oh, it turned out I didn't talk about the Murit teaser, so I will talk about Murit and Gudrun. See, the shawl that that's mine and I can't pronounce the name of. I'll tell you about it next time because it's a fun story. I like it. But I think that's it. And I will see you again next time, whenever that is. Hopefully when the camera decides to play. You can see now though, can't you, that I'm fed up? And plus it's 5:30, so it probably is tea time. So if you would like to leave a comment because you feel sorry for me, then feel free. It would be most welcome. Thank you. I'll see you again next time. Cheerio. Bye bye.